Okay, we are here in New York City with Anthony Freda. So let's jump right in. What came first, art or politics, or are they inseparable?
Originally art, but to me now they're inseparable. Yeah, I always was gravitated towards art because I had a natural affinity towards it, and then I kind of put politics on top of it as another layer to give meaning to my work as I became more politically aware. And I realized the power that images can have, not just to make a pretty picture, but to make a statement and to, you know, fight the establishment or rally a cause or rally people towards something that's outside of themselves.
So as a political artist, what do you feel the role of art is in sociopolitical change?
Well, I think propaganda is an art. And I think of myself as an anti-propagandist. I'm using the same tools that the establishment uses to divide us and to get us in line with their ideas and get us in line to kind of make our consent, to conform our opinions and to manufacture our consent. This is the power of an image, and it's been used throughout time to promote hatred and to promote division. So I'm trying to flip it on its head and do the same in the opposite fashion. Being aware that your tribal instinct is being manipulated, by the choice of the establishment, the stories that they pick and the stories that they put on the news and obsessively promote. Your opinion is being manufactured, and you need to be aware of that. So the second a lie comes out, or the second a propaganda piece comes out, I'll counter it with a meme, an image combined with words, because people have short attention spans these days. So it has more effect than a story sometimes, where you can just have a simple image where it has a picture and a statement, and you combine those and you get it out there to as many people as you can. And we have to fight immediately and get a counter propaganda with anti-propaganda, and that's what I'm doing.
Talk a little bit about some of the places where your art is. For example, I know that one of your pieces ended up in the 9/11 museum, the questions piece. Isn't that a bit like having your Mickey Mouse piece like in Disneyland? Like what were you expecting it to end up there?
No, it was actually a challenge I sent to the museum. I said, you can't have a 9/11 museum without the 9/11 truth movement being represented in some way. You're etching in stone this official narrative that really hasn't been verified yet. So it's in there. It's in part of the permanent collection now. And this is ways we can get in the inside of establishment propaganda museums. And it's just a little chink in their armor. It's a little way to get in there and have some balance to the official narrative. Because time and time again, we see the official narrative is not true. They lied to us about, Gulf of Tonkin. They lied to us about, they said nobody's spying on you. They lied to us about the pretext that took us to war with Iraq. Now we're just finding out recently that they lied to us about what happened with Osama bin Laden, the death of Osama bin Laden. Surprise, surprise. So we have to challenge these official narratives at every point because they are discredited. They need to be called every time they put something out there, and that's what our job is as artists and activists, I think, is to really be anti-propagandists.
So how quickly, you talk about, as soon as something comes out, you're there with a meme. And I saw, recently I saw your Hillary the H with the fighter jet. How quickly are you able to make these pieces, and what's your process?
Well, not quick enough. Everything happens so fast, it's unbelievable. I get an idea, the next day, and it's already an old news story. So I try to really be on top of it, and I try to get stuff out as quickly as I possibly can, but it takes time to create these images. But by using digital shortcuts for my political work, I'm able to turn things out pretty quickly, and I've developed a shorthand for just combining and juxtaposing imagery, and I try to use humor because, otherwise you just sound like a jerk. Nobody wants to listen to you. And you push people away more than you bring them in. So I love that quote by Oscar Wilde. If you're going to tell people the truth, you better make them laugh or they'll want to kill you. So you need to balance these things, because if you're too just preachy and didactic and too serious, you're going to push people away. So, and we're talking about serious things. So there's a balance. You have to be serious, but at the same time, be a little cheeky and have some humor in there. And I think when you interject that into it, the people are more willing to respond to it.
Like, okay, I understand that I can't turn on CNN or ABC or Fox News. Like, what do I do now? Like, what's the next step in this evolution?
I would go to alternative sources, and I would, you make up your own mind. You look at the official narrative, and then you look at the alternative sources, and you see who is promoting war, who is promoting a police state, who is promoting tyranny, who is promoting taking your rights away. Just being aware of these things first, and then get mad. You got to get mad. I know you're mad, and that's good. Get mad. Everybody says, "Oh, calm down. No, why are you so pissed off?" Everybody says to me, because they're degrading us as human beings. They don't have no respect for us. Obama says there is no domestic spying program when it's the most invasive domestic spying program in human history. They just expect us to just lie down and believe the lie and just roll over. Well, I'm not going to roll over, and you're not going to roll over. And we all need to have that spirit, because that spirit will save humanity. So awareness and get mad. Get mad and question the official narrative always.
Now, for political or for artists, what would you say to artists? Because I've gotten this quite frequently in my interaction with musicians and artists and things like that. I'm just not political. What would you say to them, and how can they just get out of that mind frame? Because really, artists are the ones that will push socio-political change. What would you say to them when they say I'm not political?
Well, I think there's room for both. I mean, you look at a guy like Picasso. One of his greatest paintings is considered Guernica, which is an anti-war painting. It was done about, during World War II. That's actually the prelude to World War II. That happened in Spain, in the town in Guernica. And that was like the warm-up for World War II. And it's a brilliant masterpiece. Now, all his work wasn't anti-war work or political work, but he did it. Goya, the same thing. A lot of great artists, you can do both, but you should, if you're a person of conscience, you have to go where your conscience takes you. You have to go where logic and your conscience, and these are important things. And like I say, we're in a war. We're in a war of information, a war that we can wage now that we have this platform, where it used to be just a top-down platform. Now, one person can get online and have their work seen by millions. So you have this tool that's never been afforded to people in human history. You need to take advantage of it. If you're an artist, if you're a musician, if you're a writer, whatever you are, all your work doesn't have to be political. You go where your muse takes you, but at the same time, I think you have a responsibility as a human being, as an earthling, if you have a conscience. And most artists are the people who have conscience. I've noticed they're the people who see these things. They can see through things that most other people can't. And I'm not trying to elevate artists as, well, we're better than everybody, but you know what? We're looking at the world through a different lens. So we're the first ones to see the lies, the first ones to see the deceptions, the first ones to see the propaganda. And we're in tune to it for whatever reason. So it's our responsibility, it's incumbent upon us to use that intuition and use it in a positive way to help humanity.